Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies, in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
Actress Sydney Sweeney, it came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney, she's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
President.
President.
I gave up on denim, thought it was dead, but Sydney's jeans turned my head. Faded blue with a reckless vibe, like a memory I can't untie. Sydney's jeans, so hot, so cool, making old rooms feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Thread so fine they tell a tale. Every rip's a story, every stitch a sail. She walks the streets, she owns the scene. I'm chasing dreams in Sydney's jeans. They bring the past into the now. I'm sold, I'm hooked, I don't know how. Sydney's jeans, so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Blue waves crashing on my thighs, wearing the stars under open skies. Sydney's vibe is the fire I crave. Denim dreams that can't behave. Sydney's jeans, so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Sydney's jeans, so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Sydney's
All right, Neanderthals, canines, right-wing podcasters, and car guards, you know the drill. You know where to go. All right, welcome back, folks. I wasn't going to do a broadcast tonight, so I'm really surprised. We got 75 people here for an almost no-notice video. I'm sure that almost nobody got notification. I know I didn't, and in fact, I couldn't even find it. That's why I was so discombobulated here trying to find the notification on my mobile phone so that I could play it over here while I listened to make sure the sound was going out. Yeah. I think Jeans might be wearing her. Tom, what comment of yours has been deleted about 911 breaking? Now, isn't 911 breaking a Twitter account? And what was your comment about? And where did you post it that it was deleted? Your statement is not helpful at all. You assume that all of us know what you're talking about, Tom. My comment was, so what did he say exactly? He says, my comment was, I see my post regarding SA 911 breaking is deleted. What post, on what platform, what are you talking about? Now we're all curious. Please tell us, Tom. We're all curious. I'm okay, Rudolph. I really didn't feel like doing a broadcast, and I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm okay. No sound in South Africa? Weather, but I'm okay. No, there's sound. There's sound. I just heard it. Cornelius Grundling, welcome to you. Hey, is she wearing the jeans? Yeah, I think the jeans are wearing her. But that works for me, man. They're out. You can't find American Eagle, Sydney Sweeney jeans anywhere, man. Yeah, so tonight someone suggested she do Bud Light. She should do Bud Light. That Dylan Mulvaney weirdo is gone. We should do her. Sydney Sweeney does Bud Light. I won't buy that piss water, even if she does do it. Oh, my goodness. I heard that this was on this. Let me see if I can find it. Where is this? Yeah, Trump is threatening to take over the nation's capital, and he has the authority to do it. So, yep. He is threatening to take over the capital. Walls closing in on Bill and Hillary Clinton, former AGs and FBI director subpoenaed for Jeffrey Epstein testimony. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Where in the heck is... I don't see this story. Let me see if I can find it. It was supposedly here. So, yeah. Okay, stop that. Okay, where's it at? Come on. There it is. There it is. Let's see if they actually have it. They had this image. Let's see if it's on here. Oh, come on. They take it down? Were they afraid to leave it up? Well, apparently they've taken it down. So you had Zoran Mamdani in New York hosting Elizabeth Warren. It says African American meets Native American. I wanted to share that, but apparently it's not there. They must have deleted it. Shame, because that's some funny stuff right there. 94 people here and just 2 likes. 2 likes? Seriously? That's it? Is that real? Am I imagining that? Is it just 2 likes? Wow. That's like an epic low number. What's going on there? Is YouTube blocking you for putting likes on? Go to my channel and see what the deal is and see how many likes it says on it. Where you at? Come on. Okay. Go to my channel, though. I want my channel, man. I don't want that. I want my channel. Folks. Okay. Take me to my channel. There we go. 2 likes. That just seems implausible. Why is it taking my shorts? I want to go live. YouTube is doing weird stuff here, man.
Get all the perks with
75 likes. Okay, yeah, YouTube's playing games here, man. Mine says 2 likes, and there's currently 75 likes on this. It says 2 likes. I mean, how many people are actually watching? Mine says 101. Okay, it is 101. Wow. That's just messed up. 2 likes? See, YouTube's playing games here, man. I always have the correct number in here. That's the first time I've seen it like that. It still says 2 likes, 109 people here. What the hell is going on? YouTube is playing games. Can you guys see 75 likes? I see 76 likes. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. No, it doesn't. It doesn't refresh. That's not the whole studio updates instantaneously. It shows the data, shows the average view time, shows the amount of chat revenue. Somebody gave $5 for it. I didn't even see that. Yeah. So the alert thing must have been off. Let me turn that back on and get that super chat. Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I mean, this is how they undermine creators, not feeding the data to you. All right. Tom was here. Rebecca, Marius, Husky, CB, Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason. Ingrid's Inspirations. Okay, that was before we started. Mandy Van Royen. Ingrid's back there. Loretta. Dogzilla. I have not been following this silly subject. Is Sydney Sweeney white or something? He's so funny, Dogzilla. 787 Dreamline, and welcome to you. Emerencia Quinn. Charles Van Olsen. Husky. Oh, it was from Art Queen Liza. $5 saying, appreciate you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so does Pikachu. It's my friend back there, the Pokemon Pikachu says hello. Zap. Yep. All right. And so, Tom, did he ever explain his post? I'm still curious about that. Can we keep a monitor on the Colonel's blood pressure? My blood pressure is fine. Saw on X the Trump Bondi press briefing yesterday that the refugee program remains suspended. That's actually not true. Where did you see that at? The refugees are coming over. I see your cheery voice. Well, Karen almost didn't have me today. Almost didn't have me. So it's updating the number of viewers. It says 123, but not likes. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Because people are always saying there's only 2 likes. I'm like, no, there's like 85. There's 105, 150, 92. All right, well, keep it up, folks. Notice before clicking on likes and it didn't count up. Yeah, that happens too. It happens. I've clicked the like and I watched the number go down before, which is funny. But that can happen if somebody put a like on there and took it off, so... Anyway, weird situation. All right, so you didn't tell us what happened, Tom. Where was your post at? We're curious. I guess it doesn't matter. You didn't fill us in on that. All right. Well, anyway, folks, welcome back to the program. Yeah, Sydney's jeans, so hot. Good stuff, man. Yeah, we came up with our Saffers earlier. That's a new one now. So that's the new one we put out there. Both the country versions were pretty good. They're very stirring. So new versions. Did I upload that? I did. I loaded that song this morning. So Our Saffers ought to be on. It ought to be on Spotify by now. Yeah. Just keep jamming in hits. We're just cranking them out, man, one by one. Yeah, the normal flow of refugees, no one gets exposed. So I'd have to see that case by case. Well, but Fonz, that's how every refugee case is a case by case. They're not all approved. So I'm not really sure. I think someone's just putting words in that aren't true there. So that's why I'd like to see that. Anyway, so here's today's shirt. Africa's not for sissies. Yes, it was suspended for 90 days, but that ended, and I can confirm that there have been Afghans that have came to the States in June and went to Las Vegas. Angel, what's up? George is here. Good to see you, George. Anyway, so what do we got to talk about here tonight? Let's see. I'm half asleep. South Africa is deeply concerned over Eswatini's decision to take criminal alien invaders off the hands of the United States. Ooh. They're not concerned about Bridge or the 5-6 million illegals in South Africa who are targets for xenophobes. So much so that white South Africans are physically assaulted going to government clinics when they refuse to give these criminals their identification. They should buy that song for you. Yeah, they should. They should buy the Sydney song from me and use it for their campaign. They should. They should buy that song from me, but I don't think anybody knows about it. Let's take a look see if anybody's even watched that song. Yeah, let's see. Where's my stats over here? Go to Spotify for Artists. We got over 1,000 subscribers or followers or listeners, whatever you call it, on there now. That's pretty cool. On DJ Silver Eagle, man. That is sweet. Over 1,000. Last time I looked, it was 1,007. Now it's 1,006. Somebody quit? Did somebody quit on us? Oh, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it was 1,007. It's 1,006. Application error. What the hell is this application error? Something went wrong. Spotify's not loading. Is my account gone on Spotify? Oh, my account maybe. No, it's there. What the hell's going on here? Okay, it shows my audience information. Let's see if that's still live. This is 1,009 listeners. I'll reload it. Maybe it's just cached. No, that's there. But now all the menus grayed out. What the hell? Something going on there. Spotify for Artists. It's gone. Is my Spotify account gone, folks? What the hell's going on here? It's gone. What is going on here? Huh. That's weird. Spotify for Artists is not loading for me. Well, let me see if it's working over here in the stats. Oh, huge drop off from one day to the next. That would indicate that the channel was killed or something. Is my Spotify? Huh. Well, it's got Sydney's jeans on there. My profile's there. Loading your cards. Yeah, I see you're having trouble loading my cards. Why is that? Huh. That's weird. Stuff like this always makes me worry. Billing doesn't show up. Teams doesn't show up. And my account just, there's something wrong with that site. Well, I hope they haven't taken my channel down. Something going on there. Is anybody on Spotify and can you hear my music? It's working? Okay, well then maybe it's just their data. All right, guys, thanks. Sorry, I get really nervous because after what happened to me on YouTube in 2021 when my channel just disappeared overnight, when something like that happens, I get really concerned. All right, thank you. That's just a little bit disturbing, yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you, guys. You can see me on Spotify. Okay. Okay, Pete's on it as we speak. It's all good. Well, it's all good for you guys, but I can't see the data, and that's very disturbing. That's it's very disconcerting for when you have the candle. Yeah, take a breath, Arctic. I have a breath. Yeah. Cool beans. Maybe that will be okay. All right, Kathy. Yeah. So, Kathy, are you paying for the subscription? Because if you are, then I can play that stuff. I get a little nervous. I mean, I'm already playing the one. So, Philip Swanepoel, welcome to you. Jean Spence. Okay, good. All right, thanks, guys. And I still got 2 likes over here. What the hell is going on? Let me just close this and try to open another one. See if I can open another tab and see if it keeps track. Maybe that tab has got a script problem. Okay, well, that's live now, not upcoming. So let's refresh that page. There we go. We're live now. Okay, there we go. Gee, many crickets, man. Okay, this one loads. Oh, that says 2. YouTube is dicking with me, man. It says 2 likes. I know it's not 2 likes. It's 76 earlier. What is it now? You guys told me it was 90 something a while ago. I'll reload the page. 113 likes. Yes, it's something just really fishy going on tonight. Data's going on. All kinds of stuff, man. Light Rain says the channel is removed for misinfo singing and hate chorusing. I don't think so. Okay, Kathy, you are paying for it. Cool. Okay, then it's okay. Then you were able to grant me the rights because you own them. Just double check and I'll make sure I don't get in trouble here. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm going to have to see what's going on with Spotify. That's weird. Very strange. Just keeps telling me something went wrong. Let's see if I can't go this way. I try another tab, and there's my account. And profile settings. Okay. There's my artist account. Okay, but that's not the artist account. Yeah, they don't make it very easy to get to stuff, man. Where's my Spotify account? For artist, here we go. Man, it's not loading. Not loading. Something wrong. There's something really weird going on here. Try this one here. That one's loading, but that's only part of it. Anyway, enough of that. We don't need to focus on it right now. I was trying to think like a communist. What excuse would they come up with to mess your Spotify? Well, they probably say, well, you're not a real artist. It's AI. But they've got lots of AI music on there, and it's identified as AI. So, Hey, Joy, what's going on? I was a beeping a moment ago from Blood Pressure Gizmo. Blood Pressure Gizmo's on the floor. Is it BE compliant? I don't think so. I don't think so. Catch your history on Chrome. I don't use Chrome. When is the New York City mayor election? In November, when all the elections are, Arctic. The election's the first Tuesday of November every year. First Tuesday. They've already had the primary. That's how that clown got in front running. So, yeah, the election's in November. It doesn't change. But South Africa is deeply concerned over the criminal alien invaders that are being dumped in their lap by the Trump administration. That's scary, folks. So scary, 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 scary. Yeah. Scary stuff. Yep. They're terrified. They're upset. But they don't care about the Zimbabweans and Mozambicans. Just the criminal alien invaders have been taken to Eswatini. South Africa worries about the potential national security risk posed by national security risk. Okay. National security risk. Are any of them terrorists? No. No, they're just criminals. And South Africa's got plenty of criminals. How's that a national security risk? So get this. The ANC is calling 6 criminal alien invaders who illegally entered the United States and committed crimes that are deported, and Eswatini's agreed to take them while they try to send them back to their homes. They're considering those common criminals to be a national security threat. Yet the targeted syndicates murdering and torturing and murdering farmers in South Africa is not a national security threat to your food supply. Yeah. Yeah. According to the Department of International Relations Cooperation spokesperson Crispin Piri, South Africa received confirmation that a group of criminals of various nationalities landed in Eswatini after being transported from the United States on a special flight. Piri said there was also potential for more criminals of this profile to follow. 5 men originate from Jamaica, Vietnam, Laos, Cuba, and Yemen and face charges ranging from murder to child rape to robbery and aggravated assault. Piri said, whilst respecting the sovereign decision of the government of Eswatini, the government of South Africa is deeply concerned about the profile of these individuals and the potential adverse impact of South Africa's national security and immigration policy. Why? Why are you concerned? These 5 criminals are a threat to your national security, but the syndicates torturing and murdering your farmers, undermining your food supply, your food security, that's not a national security threat? These people are morons. They're complete morons. Yeah, they're worried about competition, Pat. That's right. Damn it, we got our own criminals. We don't need to import more. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he needs a sign. Crispin Piri needs a sign. Yep, and here's another story on that. South Africa worried about dangerous criminals sent to Eswatini by U.S. Attempts to deport men from Laos, Cuba, Jamaica, Vietnam, and Yemen to their own countries were rejected. Well, I would say that Laos, Cuba, Jamaica, Vietnam, and Yemen should have 500% tariffs on their products. And we should ban all business trade with those countries. Now, if Vietnam refused to take back its nationals, their economy would be destroyed because they rely heavily on shipping their crappy consumer goods to America. Their fake knockoff Jordache jeans and stuff like that. There is no Jordache, I'm just saying that. Yeah, so just give them 500% tariff, 500% tariff for not taking. I mean, the guy's a national. How do you not take someone back who's a citizen of your country? That's just nonsense. Type of arrogance. The arrogance of Vietnam saying they won't take back their criminal. Why? He's a citizen of your country. He's a citizen of your country. You have to take him back. Here we go. Here's a murderer. Here's one of the people involved. A citizen of Yemen convicted of second-degree homicide, convicted of assault and battery, convicted of resisting and obstructing an officer, sentenced to 17 days confinement. 17 days. Convicted of cruelty to a dependent adult, convicted of assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, sentenced to 60 months confinement. And Yemen won't take him? I say just drop him out of a plane. Just drop him out of a plane. I mean, we have a C-130 that can fly from Kenya over Yemen, open the back door, push his ass out with a chute on. Bye. Welcome home. Yeah, no, the ANC's making a lot of noise about it because it's an oblique attack on America. It's an oblique attack on America. They don't care about criminals coming in to Eswatini, to Swaziland. There's lots of criminals in Swaziland. They go there on vacation from South Africa and hang out at the golf course, the Royal Swazi golf course. I know, I've run into them. I play golf there. So it's an oblique attack on the United States. They're coming from this angle to attack America. That's what it's all about. That's what it is. It's just another insult to America. This is the clown car show that is South Africa. Yep. Well, because the tariffs are going to ease competition rules for exporters. How about you ease your racist laws? That would help. Who gets to fold a parachute? Good question. ArcelorMittal closing is old news there, Art Queen Liza. That's from like February, March. They announced that a long time ago. They're not going completely, but they are shutting down one of the world steel plants in the Vol Triangle, which might make the air cleaner to breathe. Got your first cup of coffee? So they are going to change the rules for exporters. They want to do some exemption to competition rules, part of a raft of measures to support affected industries and companies. Transportation fund. They're proposing $100 billion transformation fund to support exporters. But the transformation fund is only for blacks. So see, that's what I told you. These measures will be for blacks only. No soup for you. No soup for you. The ANC's screwed up racist policies have caused it, and its arrogance has caused its companies to be in trouble. The companies in South Africa. So now what they're going to do is, after putting you in jeopardy, Now they're going to give money to blacks only. Yeah. The Transformation Fund support. The DTIC wants to use the proposed $100 billion Transformation Fund to support exporters. We're looking at a package that will also include using part of the Transformation Fund to assist those businesses to diversify into new markets. Late last year, Parks Tao said the department wanted to create a $100 billion Transformation Fund over the next 5 years to provide access for funding for black-owned businesses and small, medium enterprises. Black. So they dick things up by being black racist, and then they support blacks only. Yeah. Who could have seen that coming? Who could have seen that coming? Yeah, like that was, yeah. And they want to open new markets. They're not going to open new markets. Tax incentives? What tax incentives? You don't have any money. How can you afford to give people tax incentives in South Africa? So stupid people, man. Well, people are upset because they spent about, $10 million on police protection since 2020. That's not much money. Rise Mzansi is tilting at the wrong windmills here, folks. $10 million for VIP security for 5 years? That's nothing. Rise Mzansi says too much to spend on protection for ad hoc VIPs. Police have spent more than $169 million on VIP protection service for members of the legislature, judiciary, and ad hoc VIPs in the past 5 financial years. That's ludicrous. That's $10 million over 5 years. That's $2 million per year. That's a joke. That's not even defending people. So, Rise Mzansi, you need to find another tree to bark up, another hill to fall on, another sword to fall on. That's just stupid. Well, political drama continues to unfold in the city of Johannesburg today as minority parties threaten to pull out of this ridiculous coalition. There's the former mayor from Al Jamaa, Kabelo Gwamanda. He's warned the minority parties may walk out if not treated with respect. Johannesburg's coalition government faces growing tensions as minority parties threaten to withdraw support, citing disrespect from the ANC and disagreements over key positions like finance and MMC. Mayor Dada Morero has been criticized for governance failures and received a scathing letter from Finance Minister Enoch Gondwana. ANC doesn't have enough votes on its own, and it believes it's done nothing wrong. Well, of course it believes it's done nothing wrong. It's the ANC. Everything they do is wrong, and they deny it all. On Wednesday, they wrote to Mayor Dada Morero, ANC regional coordinator, saying that they believed that the minority governing parties believe that the position of finance MMC, the most important of the city, should be given to Tapelo Ahmad, whose highest qualification is a matric and who has also served as the mayor for 4 months. So a high school graduate should be the MMC for finance. Okay, sure. All right. That makes a lot of sense. So let me show you how the racial hatred is stirred. Here's a story about the farmer and his farm workers, who are colored, accused of killing 2 people and feeding them to pigs. Remember that story from a few months back? Now, the story has nothing to do with being white, because the people involved are white, black, and brown. But they turn into a racial incident, of course. And this story makes the news, but my friend's husband being murdered on a farm a couple weeks ago didn't even make it to CNN. But CNN finds this story. They find this story because it's sensational. And then they throw gratuitous nonsense in. White South African farmer on trial for allegedly murdering 2 black women and feeding their bodies to pigs. A white South African farm owner and 2 employees are facing trial over the alleged murder of 2 black women who prosecutors say were shot dead for trespassing and their bodies fed to pigs. The women were said to have been killed by Zachariah Olivier, 60, and his workers Adrian Devet and 45-year-old foreign national William Musoro. So a white, a colored, and a black person involved. Facing 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, 3 counts of defeating ends of justice, possession of firearms and ammunition. Of course that possession is lawful. They were arrested after police investigation led to the discovery of decomposing bodies of women in a pigsty. They came there to steal food and apparently were shot. So this is the story. All right. So this is the story. Okay. That's fair to talk about the story. But why did it say white? Similar murders have been recorded in recent years in South Africa. In Mpumalanga, the country's east, 4 men, including 24-year-old farm manager, are facing charge of murder and kidnapping for allegedly killing and burning the bodies of 3 people accused of stealing sheep last year. They're black. That's why they're telling you that. In 2019, the South African High Court handed down a lengthy prison sentence for 2 white farmers for throwing a 16-year-old teenager out of a moving vehicle truck in Colony. The men were acquitted 2 years later by a higher court, which overturned their sentencing. citing lack of evidence. So here they take people who were not guilty and were falsely convicted of a crime because they're white and the victim was black. That's in the story. People who killed people who are black, that's in the story. And then we have here this story. Violent crime is rife in Southern Africa, a nation of just over 60 million, where nearly 20,000 murders were recorded between April and December last year. Farm murders involving white and black South Africans make up a small part, about 0.2% of those killings, even though white nationalist groups make widely disputed claims of a genocide against white farmers. Do you see the fake news? Do you see this? Do you see this? This is utter nonsense. So they find the 3 instances in which white people attack black people in 7 years. 3 instances. And I can show you 3 farm murders in the past 3 weeks of white people by black thugs. It's just, well, yeah, the author is some South African or someone in South Africa, Nimi Princewell. But the fact that CNN runs this is just bullshit. And here you go. Look, everything here is a hate on America. Rwanda taking deportees, Trump's tariffs, whites, Trump's dumping ground. Look at this. Trump. This guy's obsessed with Trump. He's the producer for CNN Digital. He's in Nigeria. In Nigeria. So you have a Nigerian writing a propaganda story about murder in South Africa and ignoring all the whites and the coloreds and Indians murdered. Yeah, it's meant to stir up racial tensions. Yep, that's what it is. Exactly what it is. 100%. So I will call them out. See, this is why people ask, why did I cooperate with CNN for the thing with Earl? Because someone needs to be a voice of reason. Otherwise, this garbage comes out. Well, snow and storms ahead for South Africans. Bundle up, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in South Africa, it's going to be chilly. It's going to be chilly. Yeah. Yep. Here you go. South Africans can expect a dramatic midweek weather pattern as winter flexes its full force across the central and eastern parts of the country. According to South African Weather Service forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, the nation will see a clash of cold fronts. Yep. There you go. Well, Ronaldo did this story, so I hadn't talked about it, but the whole story about the Ackerland Broedery, when Cockprot24 spread misinformation and disinformation, lying that there was no expropriation of the farm, when in fact there was, and they spread disinformation. It's a long summary, but in the end, something has to be done here. They dug up that story, sensation stirring the already tense racial situation. Not supposed to hate, but people stirring hate like that, I hate it. Yeah, because Nigerians know everything about South Africa after all. It is in Africa, true. Quest Computer, hello to you from Josie. More housebreaking, I guess, yeah. Yes, I've seen it for decades too, but it comes at a rather unfortunate time now. Yeah, well, you guys see 150 likes. I see 2. Still says 2. It says 197 people are here, and oh, now it says 132. It just updated. Look at that. I looked up and said 2. Now it just updated. Finally, it's correct. Look at that. But you got 150 likes. Now it tells you 132. YouTube is messing with you, man. They're messing with me. But the good news is there's a growing arc here. The program started low, and it's here, and the audience has been growing the whole time. That's always good. So we're up to 100. Well, now we're 995. What are state MCDs? I don't know what MCD is. Anyway, so the author of the report was Andrew Thompson. Misinformation, disinformation become part of the biggest public threats. Okay, so the article was dated 6 February this year. News 24's misinformation desk, which published misinformation. The question was, no, Ackerland Broedery hasn't expropriated without compensation. Owners sold it privately for $80 million. The key points of the article are highlighted. Anyway, so they went on about this because this thing goes on forever and ever. But in the end, all that Cockprot24 has to do is apologize, essentially. Okay, so SAAI sought a public apology and a follow-up article. The breaches found constitute Tier 2 serious breaches in terms of the complaints procedure. They could be reprimanded, caution, corrections, retractions, and apologies. An apology to SAI would not be appropriate since they weren't the aggrieved party in the article. But an apology by News 24 to its readers is, in my view, appropriate. The publication is directed to do the following. Update the current article to correct the statement that Akala embroidery was never expropriated and to include the context of the Land Claims Court orders of April and September 2018. Publish an apology to the readers for omitting material context and for any confusion this may have caused its readers. The update apology is to reference this complaint, contain the logo of the press council, and link to the full article. That's not a punishment. So they spread disinformation to raise racial hatred, causing undue harm and racial tensions, and Cockprot24 simply has to update the webpage that is from February that nobody's going to read and apologize on an article from February that nobody's going to read. That's not a punishment. That's not a punishment. That is not a punishment. Are you still here, Dogzilla? You're desperate to get your googly eyes on Beyonce. I have Beyonce for you tonight, googly eyes. Are you ready? Because I know you just don't like that Sydney Sweeney. You're all into the Beyonce. Is Beyonce's Levi's campaign teasing her new album? The Beehive Reacts. There you go. Ridiculous fingernails. Look at the cultural appropriation. Black women don't naturally have blonde hair. That's cultural appropriation. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about cultural appropriation? Can we talk about cultural appropriation? It's not a natural hair color for black women. They're not allowed to have it. White people can't have cornrows, so black people can't have blonde hair. It's not natural. It's cultural appropriation. Remember that nonsense 15 years ago? Oh, it's cultural appropriation. Oh, piss off. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Are you happy, Dogzilla? There you go. You wanted to drool over Beyonce and her abnormally large hips and thighs. Beyonce has dropped more Easter eggs about Act 3 of her trilogy albums, igniting fresh speculation among the Beehive following the release of her latest campaign for Levi's. A short film titled Chapter 4, The Denim Cowboy, was posted by Parkwood Entertainment, Beyonce's company, on August 4th and features her wearing denim on denim outfits. Yeah, the campaign marks the fourth installment in Beyonce's ongoing collab. Okay, guys, I'm going to give a couple cautions here. I keep seeing they and they. Stop it. Stop it. Stop generalizing black folks. Just because I'm making fun of this, I'm only making fun of this because of Dogzilla is making a big deal about the thing about Sydney Sweeney. Stop this they. Okay? Stop. That's borderline. Okay? All right? Let's stop that. Okay? Let's stop that. All right? There's no need for that because then people just call you racist. And that's a word that doesn't have any meaning anymore, so I really don't care to hear it. All right? I'm just going to ask you politely not to put stuff like... Sorry, there's something flying around here. All right. Anyway, I'm making fun of it because cultural appropriation. Remember that? I mean, we had to deal with that nonsense years ago. That's cultural appropriation. No, it's not. No, it's not. So I guess we're culturally appropriating rugby because, of course, the rugby historian Julius Sellotape Malema told us it was invented by people in the Eastern Cape hundreds of years ago, not William Webb Ellis in England on a soccer pitch when he picked up the ball and ran with it instead of kicking it. Yeah. And people are like, what's he doing? Yeah. All right. Enough of that. So this has even made South African news now. It's in the South African news. The IOL is running a story on it. Sydney Sweeney's Denim Dilemma charity. Well, I do care about my channel, Odin's Viking, and I don't care for people falsely reporting my channel, and then I have to fight it. So I do care. I do care. Sydney Sweeney's Denim Dilemma charity or just a cheeky marketing stunt? Sydney Sweeney has divided the internet yet again. When did she divide it before? Stirring up controversy that was revealed. By the way, American Eagle brand shared a video that many expressed online that is weird and hypersexualized for a campaign that's supposed to be bring awareness to a sensitive matter. Bring awareness to a sensitive matter? What sensitive matter are we talking about? What does she do now? The now deleted video, the camera focuses more on her exposed cleavage and slowly moves down her stomach. Eyes up here. What is their problem? Why do they hate white women so much? Why do they hate sexy women so much? These people are just a bunch of haters. Yeah, Lesotho has often got lots of snow. Well, Canada's trade deficit widened in June. It's the second largest on record. Canadians, things aren't looking so good. Canada's merchandise trade deficit widened in June to 5.9 billion Canadian dollars as imports grew faster than exports due to one-time high-value oil equipment import. I wonder what that was. They must have bought some equipment that cost billions of dollars. Zandri will send me the certificates. Okay, thank you. Oh, Gene's getting... Oh, gotcha, Odin's Viking. Yeah, I don't care about Gene's becoming political. I agree with you on that, Odin's Viking, but I do care about people misrepresenting the channel. Thank you for your clarification. See, the problem is the text, there's not enough there. We misunderstand things sometimes. Syncmaster, what's going on? Right. Let me see if I'm still getting updated likes. I got 132. It's locked there again. I know it's more than that. It's more than that. Anyway, YouTube's got their problems. It isn't all malicious on their part. Sometimes things just aren't working. Sometimes things aren't. The Maluti Mountains also. Yeah. Well, I've seen snow in South Africa many times. The FBI is threatening the demon rats the panicans who fled from Texas to go to Illinois, the worst gerrymandered state in the country, to cry about gerrymandering. The governor filed an emergency petition with the state Supreme Court to remove Representative Gene Wu from office. There you go. Trump says the FBI may have to get involved with helping Texas Republicans arrest Democrats. That's all fine and dandy, but I'd much rather you arrest Hillary Clinton, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Comey. That's the people I want to see arrested. Yeah, I like to see those people arrested. Then, don't arrest, but just take the people responsible for the view and put them on a plane and send them to Ireland to hang out with Rosie, because that's where they belong. Gene Wu, that's right. Yeah. By the way, did you notice every one of the Democrats from Texas who left there? Every one of them. Every single one of them. They're not Texans. None of them are Texans. They all sound like they're from Midwest or from New York or California. They're not Texans. I didn't see one Democrat from Texas who sounded like they was actually from Texas. All those people were not from Texas. They may be representatives in the Texas government, but they sure as hell didn't grow up in Texas. They sure as hell ain't Texans. Did you notice that? None of them. Not a single one. The black guy's got a black accent. The Hispanic guy's got a Midwestern accent. The black lady's got a Chicago accent. They're all not even Texans. And that's why they're Democrats. Oh, my goodness. Trump says J.P. Morgan and Bank of America rejected his deposits. See? That's why he's going to go try to protect conservatives. Trump administration expects to take additional efforts to crack down on perceived bias. It's not perceived, it's actual criminal acts. Equal access to lending is a law, and you cannot refuse people on this basis. President Trump on Tuesday went after the nation's biggest banks, accusing them of discriminating against him in recent years as his administration weighs options for cracking down on perceived bias against conservatives in the financial system. Trump said in an interview on CNBC that J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and others refused to accept more than $1 billion of his deposits. Trump said he eventually had to spread his cash across small banks all over the place. The banks discriminated against me very badly, reviving his criticism that Wall Street banks had debanked conservatives for political reasons. The new White House order would add to other recent Republican efforts to address debanking. Republicans on the Senate Banking Committee advanced a bill earlier this year that would prohibit financial regulators from using reputational risk in their supervision of financial institutions. We don't close accounts for political reasons, and we agree with President Trump that regulatory change is desperately needed, said J.P. Morgan Chase spokesman Trish Wexler. We commend the White House for addressing the issue and look forward to working with him. Yeah, I'm sure you do. After you debank the president, now you're trying to lick his scrotum so you stay in his good graces. That's just funny. That's just funny. Yeah. So what is gerrymandering? It is the redrawing of districts. It's perfectly legal. It's reprehensible, but it's perfectly legal, and it leads to bizarre districts. And it's one of the reasons why we have a ossified and locked up Congress, because of the way that they make these districts, intentionally dividing them to create districts that are safe for one part. That's how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gets to go to Congress. She's in a district that was drawn so that it's almost entirely Democrat and avoiding all the Republican areas in between. And this is why there's no real competition in Congress for incumbents once they get in. So Texas is gerrymandering now, and they're allowed to redistrict. So Pennsylvania, funny story, I've told this before. Pennsylvania, before the 2022 election, or 2020 election, was it? Yeah, 2020 or 2020. I think it's 2020. Anyway, Pennsylvania had an election map that had been drawn a decade prior based on the census. There were 12 Republican members of the House and 6 Democrats. So it was 2/3 of the people in the state were represented by Republican members of Congress, which makes sense if you look at the map. 75% of the territory of the state is occupied by conservatives, not by leftists or Democrats. So the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania heard a case which in my view was illegitimate, complaining about the redistricting that had taken place several years prior. They wait before this election when they need to throw this Congress to the Democrats to pull this crap. They took it, and in an election year, less than 10 months before the election, after candidates have already been walking around their districts all over Pennsylvania, handing out flyers, giving speeches, spending their own money, spending donations of people who thought they were going to vote for these people, and they redraw the map, and suddenly people are no longer. Let me give you an example here. The district that I'm in was redistricted. It was changed 10 months before the election. Scott Perry, my member of Congress, was comfortable in that district. He usually got 62 to 68% of the votes. They redrew the district, changing the boundaries in an election year. In an election year, after the calendar year started, they changed it. And they added Dauphin County, which is an urban center, which has a black population. The only black population in this county, by and large, is in York. That's it. They added that, which tends to be left, 90%, and changed the dynamics. So much so that Perry has barely been able to hold on to re-election the last two elections simply because of party affiliation. So he won with 51% of the vote over Janice Stelton, a lunatic leftist Democrat who doesn't even live in the district. She lives on the other side of Susquehanna in Lancaster County, where she was a television reporter. And she's running in this district. She lost last time. She's going to run again. Meanwhile, they're spending millions of dollars writing billboard ads attacking Scott Perry for things he has nothing to do with. Every time I drive to Harrisburg, I see big billboards. Scott Perry, stop pharmaceuticals. Didn't have anything to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Not on the committee. Not involved. Didn't even vote on that bill. So that's what redistricting does. So the 2-to-1 advantage, which was the entire difference in the House of Representatives when the Republicans lost the House. The entire disadvantage, because it had been a six vote advantage, 12 to 6. That's a +6. The Republicans lost control of the House. The Democrats took over with just a few votes more. The entire difference was the state of Pennsylvania, which illegally changed our voting districts during an election year. And there was never any ink on that. No CNN coverage, no New York Times worrying about it, nobody complaining about the Democrats, and the Supreme Court of this state with 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans changing our election districts in an election year after people had spent resources running for office in a place they're no longer even competing in. That's how evil this stuff is. But now they care about it. Now they care about it. Lauren Boebert. Oh, that's Colorado. What's going on, Matt? Oh, the 2020 riots in South Africa, nothing's happened. Yeah, no, it's not insane, Ingrid. I made a big deal of it on my channel at the time. That's one reason why I got shadow banned, because I was talking about it. I also talked about how this state violated its own law. Act 77 was passed in October of 2019 when I became a resident of the state, even though I was already living here because I was act duty. I was no longer act duty, became a resident legally. And they passed that law before I was able to vote. Not that I had any say in it, I'm just saying it's the time frame. And then less than a year later, in August of 2020, because it was inconvenient because of the COVID scam and the illegal unconstitutional lockdown things and measures were put in place, the governor, Tom Wolf, said, well, we're just going to ignore Act 77. We're going to put these boxes all over the place. We're going to mail all these ballots out to people. You just drop it in there. There's no security. No one's watching it. And we'll count that. Total violation of the law. You have to have signature. It's unbelievable. And Republicans, they're responsible for it. Republicans control the legislature, and they were hoodwinked by the Democrats into this mail-in balloting BS. Yep. Good luck with your interview, Arthur. Yep. No, that's one of the reasons why I was shadow banned, why my other channel's never gone anywhere, because they keep hiding it, because I told the truth about Act 77. It's not speculation. It's not innuendo. It's not disinformation. It's not fantasy. It's not conspiracy theory. It's a statement of fact. And I was hot on that issue of Act 77. So gerrymandering, their feelings are hurt. Look at those ritzy chairs with a gold stamped on the back of them. Wow, I wonder how often they have to change those things. Halfway between 2020 and 2030 census is not the normal time to be talking about redistricting or gerrymandering, but the issue has nonetheless taken over political conversation. So here's a story by Zachary Wolf on CNN. You're right, it's not. It's not the normal time for this to be happening. And neither is 9 months before an election there, Zachary Wolf. Did you write an article for CNN when Pennsylvania did that 9 months before an election? I don't think you did. See how the media lies and distorts and misleads, even when they tell the truth? Perhaps sensing some political weakness and fearing the loss of their House, majority Republicans are looking for more congressional seats. But rather than just trying to win them at the ballot box, they're primed to conjure up additional seats by redrawing congressional maps in Texas. Democrats, tired of being outplayed, have threatened to redraw maps in the states they control. Well, they can redraw the maps in the states they control, New York and California. They've already redistricted Republicans out of office. There's only one Republican in Illinois. There's only one left in Maryland. It used to be 7 Democrats and 6 Republicans. Now there's one. The Republican population in Maryland didn't change, but Republicans were disenfranchised by redistricting it. And nobody's complaining about that. That happened 10 years ago in Maryland. So Maryland went from 1 vote difference for Democrats to a 12 vote difference for Democrats. Now you know why the Democrats are even close. If you even that back out, they lose 11 seats. The Republicans have 11 more seats. The number swings 11 the other way. Unbelievable. So now they're up in arms. Now they care about gerrymandering. It's unusual to do it in the 5th year. Yeah, it is, but it's even more unusual. It's also immoral to do it during election year after people have already been campaigning in that area. This is all named, of course, after Elbridge Gerry. Yep, Elbridge Gerry. So why are tourists leaving Las Vegas? No, it's not a movie. It's true. While most of the Vegas regulars have long assumed that Sin City is immortal, viral videos and social media apparently telling a different story. On YouTube, there are dozens of clips of seemingly empty scenes on the Strip as influencers gulp into the camera, proclaim that the party's truly over. But it's not. It's not. See, this is nonsense. I mean, I'm so sick of this. The numbers are shocking. Vegas is dying. And I look at the numbers. Revenue's down 3.7% year over year. 3.7%. It's not good, but it's not like 50% of the people left, or 40%, or even 10%. Hotel rates have declined from $176 a night to $156. Okay, wow. Can it really be that Vegas is emptying out and falling from favor? The official statistics suggest that. No, they don't. There's a downward trend at play. Numbers from Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority show tourism is down 65% since last year. Now, that's not the numbers they've been releasing publicly. That is a big deal. Some claim it's down to the general squeeze of disposable income. Others say it's because it's the hate America and foreigners aren't coming. According to Las Vegas Convention Center, Canadians make up 3% of Vegas visitors, with 14 million making the trip last year. Yet a year later, the data shows that more Canadians are thinking twice about crossing the border. Well, no wonder. Of course they're not coming to America, because they're angry because we're holding them to account for their ripping us off for 50 years. Recent figures from Vegas's Harry Reid Airport show the arrivals on Air Canada jets are down 5%. 5%. 5%. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. This is all, there's a tempest in the teapot. Sophie Cunningham, the spanking hot forward for the Indiana Fever. By the way, did they win tonight? They had a 5-game win streak and they're playing a crappy team. Hopefully they won. They'll make 6 in a row. Why is WNBA not showing up here? Oh, that's why. There we go. See if they won. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. They won. No, they lost. Oh, they're still playing. I'm sorry, they're still playing. Got a minute left and they're losing. They're going to lose tonight. Wow. There goes they're losing a terrible team and they're losing to the Los Angeles Sparks. An under 500 team. Well, so much for the win streak. Yeah, they had a 5-game win streak. It's burst a long time. So Caitlin Clark is not playing again. Yeah, Breonna Turner is also not playing. Sophie Cunningham, the forward from there, she's got 8 points tonight, not her best performance. But Sophie Cunningham says the WNBA fined her for her podcast. She's done her first episode of podcast and they fined her. Oh, she's a guard. I thought she was a forward. Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham may have slipped up just a bit during the first episode of her podcast, Show Me Something. The podcast released its first episode on July 30th, and while filming episode number 2, she revealed that she received some discipline from WNBA. They fined me. Dude, they fined me $1,500. I was like, what? This is just the beginning. What happens is the WNBA emails our GM, and she pulls me aside, and she just smiled and said, hey, they're going to fine you again.
We were talking about, like, our first week, what people had to say. Well, the WNBA fined me.
No! You got fined for episode 1?
Dude, they fined me $1,500. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is just the beginning.
Well, I think they should fine you for that stupid nose ring, Sophie. You know, you're no longer hot. I've seen the nose ring. Not hot. Take it out. Sorry. Take the nose ring out. That ruined it. That just ruined it. Sorry. Can't deal. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Stupid nose ring. Can't do it. President Trump has threatened to take over the District of Columbia because of rampant crime there. President Trump again threatened Tuesday to bring the District of Columbia under federal control due to the out-of-control crime in the nation's capital. Local youths and gang members, 14, 15, 16-year-old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens, at the same time knowing they will be almost immediately released, said Trump. The president urged city officials to begin charging minors as adults for violent crimes beginning at age 14 and lock them up for a long time. If D.C. doesn't get its act together, we'll have no choice but to take federal control of the city. Here is a former Doge member who was beaten after intervening when an elderly lady was attacked. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bow Wow Bowser attempted to address the rising juvenile crime statistics by imposing a curfew. They're not even imposing it. Trump said, I think we should take over D.C., make it safe. Wow. District was granted the power to elect the mayor and city council by the 1973 Home Rule Act, but Congress does still exercise considerable authority over the inhabitants. In 2023, Congress passed and then President Joe Biden approved a law blocking revision of the D.C. criminal code that would have lowered maximum penalties for certain violent crimes. Yeah, see, that's the thing. D.C. tried to take assault and make it a misdemeanor. Remember that? Yeah, Pikachu's right there, Nikki. Yep, he's right there. Yep. Trump wants to take over the city, and I think he should. Bill and Hillary. They're in the crosshairs. House Republicans subpoenaed nearly a dozen former federal officials and politicians, including Bill and Hillary Clinton, as well as records from the Department of Justice. Wow. The facts and circumstances surrounding both Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell's cases have received immense public interest and scrutiny. While the department undertakes efforts to uncover and publicly disclose additional information related to Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell's cases, it's imperative that Congress conduct oversight of the federal government's endorsement of sex trafficking laws, generally and specifically its handling and investigation and prosecution of Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell. So they're going to look them up. They're going to look them up. Who's afraid of the big bad Zoolander? Zoran Mamdani hanging out. Look, it's an African American and a Native American. Zoran Mamdani refused again to take any public questions from Post reporters on Monday, continuing a clear policy even if his campaign doesn't care to admit it. What's he afraid of? It'd be one thing if the Democratic mayoral nominee simply refused to engage with the Post columnist editorial board, but we're talking about his attitude towards our news side, which, with the industry's general decline, at this point is the main local news gathering operation left in New York City. He last sent them an updated schedule on July 30th. So the Post is unhappy that Zoolander is ignoring them. Well, it's not surprising. The far left, Senator Pocahontas, gushes over the mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. Yes. Look at the cheek in the background there, wearing the short skirt. Or are those shorts? Those are shorts, I guess. Okay.
Instead, this is a man who ran for mayor of New York City by saying, what will make New York City work better for working people?
Communism.
That's what this campaign is all about.
Communism.
So when Andrew Cuomo is shocked to discover that's actually what New Yorkers want,
Communism.
and that he thinks the right...
No. This is once again the radical Islamization of the United States, just like London, Leicester, Birmingham, Sheffield, Manchester. Same thing happening here. Minneapolis, New York City. It's all happening here. Zoran the moron. Yep. For his campaign too soon, he won't be a non-entity by the time elections arrive. I think you're right, Charles, because the guy keeps stepping on his crank. Definitely not a halal dress. How do they get a hold of people to put that? Huh? Put what in their SOI? What is the question here? Arctic doesn't have inside information, Francis. What's your question? Now I have to hunt down Francis's question. And I don't see any question from her. Nope, I don't see anything. I don't know what that's all about. Your data is sold on the web daily. Well, it depends what day you're talking about. Rudolph says a small diamond stud in the nose is actually sexy. No, it's not. It looks like a booger hanging out of the nose. No, people in Canada didn't get a hold of your numbers. Someone bought data. That's simple as that. Yeah, I get phone calls all the time about stuff. It just happens to be coincidental. So, yeah. See, and then now you're gonna lose faith or confidence in the program. No, didn't come from your statement of interest. No. Someone probably just got a block of numbers and they just got computers that call them and they get lucky. I'll bet you there's probably 100 people that called and asked them about why do you want to go to America? And there's probably some black dude sitting in the Free State going, what are you talking about going to America? Huh? And they hang up on them. You just assume because they got a hold of you. Right. It's a little concerning and off-putting, but relax. Hey, Bets, what's going on? Yes, Elizabeth Warren, such a Native American name. Yep. No, she's a fake Indian. She's a liar. She's a fraud. She's been caught at it. So let me go back and see. I'm a little concerned about that. Why am I not getting... So unless they had a major comeback there in the last few seconds, which I do. Looks like Indiana's lost this game. Yep. Wait. It's July 30th. That's not tonight. Tonight is the 6th of August. What's going on here? Wait a second. They won tonight. Ugh. No, that's 3 August. Sorry. There it is. Come on. They lost 100 to 91. Okay, it's over. Jeez, man. This freaking WNBA site sucks trying to find stuff. All right. So, yeah. There. They in the end lost. No, they did know you're interested in relocating, probably. They're probably guessing, Francis. They're probably guessing. Okay? Or maybe they got the data from the... Did you send anything to the South African Chamber of Commerce? And what does it matter? What does it matter? So, what did they say? You want to go... You want to relocate? It's probably just these companies that offer advice on how to relocate and charge you thousands of dollars to get to Canada or somewhere like that. And they're trying to make money, like that immigration advisor who lied. You notice he disappeared. Well, of course they're scamsters, or they're the legitimate business just trying to make money, cold calling people. Yeah, there's so many visa scams going on now. I mean, you know... They probably got your number from some business in South Africa where you've got it. Nothing to do with the refugee program. I mean, what are the odds that a white South African wants to immigrate? Pretty high. You dial 10 white South Africans, you probably find 4 that are definitely interested in immigrating, 8 that are listening to your conversation. It's going to be okay. Oh, well, then you're relaying stuff third hand, Francis. We don't even know what happened there. So I thought it was you. So then let's not talk about it because we have no information on it. They're not here to talk about it, so... Reno, how am I doing? I'm okay. I wasn't going to do a show tonight, but here we are. Well, I'm having user interface issues with Spotify, not just with that. I thought my account was deleted or something. I'm still a little concerned it might have been deleted, so let me go back and see. But my account still seems to be there where people can access it. That's good. But the number is stuck, 1006. No more people join it, so I don't know if that's true or not. Spotify for artists. Okay. It's back. Okay. And it's 1,009 listeners now. Yeah, there must have just been a problem with their website. Yep. Okay, I'm back. Whew, that's a relief. All right. Good news. Good news. Sweeney's Hot Jeans. Yep. All right. So it's back. That was weird, man. It's very, very odd. Anyway. Right. Went to Australia for 6 weeks. My FNB bank card was declined. When I got back, I found my bank account was changed to late estate. That's weird, Kathy. Hope you're feeling better about your night. Yeah, I feel a little better, Dylan, now that kind of took that concern away. Yeah, there's so many scams going on. And I talked about it today. FNB is warning people about scams, banking scams. So be careful out there, folks. Odin's Vikings is out here. All right, you got to go to work. All right, man, go make that money. Be selfish. Pay your damn bills. Be responsible. That's it. Just me. I get it, Odin's Vikings. Me. Pikachu, my buddy. Should we do a Pokemon song? Relocating to Canada. Yep. I got one the other day, guaranteed EB3 for $50,000. Yeah, EB3 visa wait times are years, required Department of Labor approval. Yep. Yeah, see, Africans are accustomed to just paying bribes and they'll get it. You pay a bribe in America, it isn't real. You're not going to get anything. Change the day you left for Australia. Interesting. Yes, they're warning about bot scams as well. Yep. Yeah, you got to be careful, folks. You got to be really careful. There's a lot going on. By the way, just in case anybody's curious, not that you are, but I have now deleted. How many is it? Jeez, I have to look and see. It is. Hang on. I am down to 264,000 email messages. I had 419,000 when I started this journey on Friday. So I've deleted 153,000 email messages. Gone. Takes a long time to do this stuff, folks. It's crazy. It's crazy. 153,000 email messages, and I got a lot more, and it still says I'm over the limit. This is just crap. They came up with some stuff after the fact, and now they're trying to say I get a limited number of months of storage space, but it's never been a problem before. Anyway, I got 264,000 more emails to go through. What does my t-shirt say? Africa's not for sissies. I showed it earlier. ICE really likes bribes. $100 get you the next plane. To the Royal Swazi Southern Sun. By the way, that's an easy golf course. Anyone ever golf there? The Royal Swazi? Yeah, I've been there. It's easy, but it's nice. It's quiet. And Jill, you thought your email was hacked. That's one of my email accounts. That's just one. I haven't even gotten around to the one for this account where people are sending me messages asking for questions, because I have over 1,000 messages in that other account that's nobody's damn business that I never asked for. People send me unsolicited. They're all about refugee stuff, and I've got to work on that. Excuse me. Yeah. Arctic, well, it doesn't work. There's 27,000 deleted messages in my deleted folder, and I can't delete them. It won't delete them all. I was deleting them every couple thousand, and then I got busy deleting messages, and it wouldn't let me do it. So I have to go in and delete every 100 at a time. That's going to take hours. So I've already gotten rid of 3,000 by doing that. Yeah, so nice try, Arctic. But I've been doing computers since, you were in nappies. Oh, thank you, Rudolph, for the same advice. Oh, my goodness. You get an average 100 a day. I get an average of about 5,000 emails per day. 5,000. So you can see that I have a lot of emails, but it's not a long time. Now, some of these go back quite a ways, but that's because I ignore some of them and try to get back to them later on. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Shall we do a song? Shall we make a song tonight? What shall we make the song? Anybody have any ideas? I was thinking about the Pikachu, but Starbucks crack coming up with every cough. It's not a cough. I'm clearing my throat. Stop your bank card, a fraudulent transaction. Yeah, it can be very frustrating. Mail. Oh, yeah. Song about email box. Yeah. There you go. Email. That's a good one, Raina. I like that. Getting through these email songs. There you go. You guys both came up. That's okay. You will like my Cool Beans song. Okay, Kathy. You sent that to email, Kathy? Let me get to the email. Google Gmail. Okay. New song from Kathy. The Colonel's Laughter. No, that's not your Cool Beans song. The Colonel's Laughter's there. We don't see it. Kenya phone call. I'm getting a lot of stuff from the people who got stuff from PRM, and then they're getting the phone calls from Kenya. It's a close friend of mine applied for the refugee program on May 16th. Well, you didn't apply. You sent a statement of interest in. 3 weeks ago, he received a call for a detailed interview with U.S. officials that lasted an hour and a half. Since then, and in line with your recent update, U.S. official website, everything is supposed to be handled through RSC. Interesting, right after you shared this update on your channel, I believe it was last Friday, my friend received an email from RSC with a code. However, on the following Monday, I received a call from a South African number. The caller claimed me from RSC in Kenya. I asked him for the code. And also questioned whether he had previously spoken to his official. When he answered yes, the caller said they couldn't assist and abruptly ended the call. What's especially concerning is the caller seemed to know my friend had applied and was expecting a code, which makes us wonder whether information might be leaking from the inside. All right, well, thank you for that. I am getting a little concerned because now, Frances made her comment. Now this person sent me that. Okay. All right. Okay, I've got a request from Paul van Noordvik to become a moderator. But I almost never see Paul on here. I can't make you a moderator unless you're on channel. From Monday. Okay. All right. Sorry. So I don't see that, what she's telling me to find there. 12:17. Yeah, it's 12:18 in the morning here. It's not Gmail thing of now. See, you guys are making assumptions. I don't use Gmail. I have Gmail for this account. I'm not talking about Gmail. I'm talking about my Yahoo account. Hey, Leanne, what's going on? Do both songs. What's the other song? Truth Drive. All right. Yeah, no, Paul van Noordvik has been on the channel. I've seen him recently, just briefly, but I can't make you a moderator unless you're in the chat. So, all right. Let's go ahead and make a song. All right, we're going to make this humorous, okay? Create. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to use male vocals. Okay. And, okay. Don't know how to spell this word. That's not the right way to spell it, so let's try something else. Don't have... Oh, come on. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens. NetBank robs you. Okay. One group for White Army, one group is refugee, huh? Think I belong to 2 WhatsApp groups as I receive same information. Could be. Who's getting an alcohol allowance? Wendy's, possible about WhatsApp live as info is shared on both platforms. Yep. Road trip through USA. Yahoo is older than my grandfather. Well, Mohammed, I've had that email address since 1995 or 96. The account says 1995 when it was GeoCities, and the Yahoo address since 96. Yeah. Yep. I have 400. Well, I have 200 some thousand left now. I had 400,000. Let's see. I hope this came out all right. Oh, shoot. That ain't going to work. It did the auto lyrics again. God bless it. Oh, that's so annoying. I hate that. It's default doing that. I have to remember it every time now. And I don't like the house. I'm going to change that to alternative rock. Let's try that. Is rock going to work? No, that's not going to work for something like this. Techno, progressive rap, hymns, drum beat, Japanese. Kids song. Let's try that. Just wasted some credits because that's terrible. Let's see how this comes out. That was, I hate that. It's doing that default stuff. Happy birthday to your class assistant. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens here.
Inbox screaming, it's a digital riot. Plumos and scams, they just won't be quiet. A prince in exile wants to share his throne. I just want coffee and to be left alone. Delete, delete, they keep on spawning. Reply, reply, it's never ending. Email avalanche crashing down on me. Buried alive in the spam debris. I never asked for your restless leg relief or a new roof deal. I just want some peace.
Yeah, this is actually better than I expected.
A coupon war and a flash sale battle. My mind's the herd, they're trying to cattle. Congrats, you won, I never entered. Every subject line feels off-centered. Scroll, scroll, my fingers are aching. Stop, stop, my patience is breaking. Email avalanche crashing down on me. Buried alive in the spam debris. I never asked for your late night munchies or freeway lost pills. It's a spam junk spree.
These are good lyrics.
Email avalanche crashing down on me. deal, I just want some peace. I just want
It does. It sounds like the Big Bang Theory theme song or something like that. Here's a longer one. Let's see how this one goes. That's pretty good.
Inbox screaming, it's a digital riot. Plumbers and scams, they just won't be quiet. A prince in exile wants to share his throne.
First one's better.
I just want coffee and to be left alone. Delete, delete, they keep on spawning. Reply, reply, it's never ending. Email avalanche crashing down on me. Buried alive in this spam debris. I never asked for your restless leg relief or a new roof deal.
Yeah, it does sound like Blink 182. Nah, the first one's better. Email avalanche.
Inbox screaming, it's a digital riot. Plumos and scams, they just won't be quiet. A prince in exile wants to share his throne. I just want...
That's much better. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, that was fun. That was fun. I like that email avalanche. Illegitimate payments charge your credit card entire payment contract, the payment processor first, fraud divisions. Well, guys, you're talking about your country. In America, it's very simple. If you have a credit card in America, Congress did something that actually was very good for consumers 30 years ago or something like that. If you have a credit card in America and it's misused, you are only required to report within a reasonable amount of time, which is not defined. Normally, people consider it within 7 days to be a reasonable amount of time. If you report lost or stolen credit card or identify fraud in a reasonable amount of time, you are not liable for anything more than $50. The only thing you can be charged by the merchant is $50, or by the bank is $50. They are responsible for absorbing the rest of the loss, which is fantastic. Unlike the rest of the world, you're screwed when people get your credit card numbers. It's not good for America. I mean, it's terrible when your card gets stolen. You have all kinds of problems, but you won't be carrying the debt for that. Now, there's a problem. If you carry a debit card is linked to your checking account. A debit card is a direct access to your checking account. If you lose or your debit card, which is a Visa or MasterCard, is compromised, they can drain your bank. They can take every penny. And you're not protected because it's not a credit card, it's a debit card. Even though it carries the Visa and MasterCard logo, it's not a credit card. So you are not protected. Now, many banks will reimburse you if there's fraud committed, but there's no guarantee of that. That's why I carry credit cards. People don't know that. People just don't know that. And you're protected. Yep. White Western people are the only race who have opted to adopt, foster, and feed other races. That's not entirely accurate. Okay. Yakub Basson. Welcome, Yaku. Janine Karstens. Right, even when it's a bank's fault, you don't get your money back, right? There are exceptions to that FIY. What is FYIY? What does that mean? 6 credit cards. I carry 14 credit cards. You're welcome, Arthur. In America, that's the law. Yep, you're only liable for $50. But, I mean, I've had fraud committed on credit cards, compromised by websites, compromised by the banks, compromised by travel agents over the years. I mean, I was in Botswana, and I was billed on my American-based credit card from London for a trip to Hong Kong one way. I had never even used that credit card on any site. Someone just, somehow got the number from someone they bought it, probably on the dark web, and used it. And I contacted my bank. I said, hey, I'm in Botswana. That should have sent red flags. How in the world would an American who told you he's living in Botswana because the government sent me here, you know that, it's in my file, living in Botswana, if I use a credit card in South Africa, that makes sense. But I always called them and told them when I went across the border over the weekend to South Africa, hey, I'm going to be traveling. But my credit card was used in London to buy a ticket to Hong Kong. That should have sent alarm bells up. But now they have much better systems in place. So one of my credit cards, well, 2 of my credit cards, if $200 or more is spent, I get an instant alert. I get a text message, I get an email from my bank saying $200 has just been charged. $200.01, I get an alert. Yep. I can set that for any amount I want. They're much better. It didn't say FY, it said FIY. It said FIY. I know what FYI is. It said FIY. I don't know what FIY is. And what do you mean, Arctic? What exceptions? Yeah, two-factor authentication is great, except it's not. Let me tell you why it's not. If you are clever enough and have a SIM card cloner, you get near somebody's phone, say sitting on their phone is in their pocket, and you're standing at a counter in the queue for a bus or a train or at the airport or checking in a hotel, and they put it on a counter, and you put your phone close enough, you can clone their SIM card. Well, then what you do, you can also harm their SIM card, and then you can go in and ask for it to come to your phone, and it goes to your phone, and then you can change the two-factor authentication. That has happened. Change the two-factor authentication. So it's not foolproof. It's not foolproof. Now, the only one that's foolproof, and it's not even foolproof, is if you had to put your thumb on it or something like that, or a retina scan, but then they just, kill you and take your eye out and cut your thumb off, So nothing's, we've seen plenty of, Jason Bourne movies, right? Irene, feel better. Bronchitis sucks. Yeah, the digital age is, Nikki. It's not all it's cracked up to be. So let me see what I got. Junk mail today. I got Consumer Cellular wants to sell me some stuff. My business account for my bank wants to send me blank checks. National Geographic wants me to pay for someone else, and then they want to send me more blank checks. It's just junk mail. Junk mail, junk mail, junk mail. Yeah, it was probably a finger issue, Charles, but I like giving him a hard time. He's probably drinking too much. So if you use your credit card and sign a receipt, yet the waiter adds a zero to the tip mat, you write in and going from 20 to 8, you will not be refunded. I don't know what you're talking about there, Arctic. Never heard of such a thing. How in the world does somebody add a zero? You put 10.00. It's done. You can't add anything else. You put a dot in there for the cents. You can't add anything else. I take it it's happened to you when you had too many drinks. Well, Arctic, no one should ever leave a blank slip lying around. I don't understand people. This is something I never get. You get all these people, especially millennials. They use a credit card and they don't want the receipt. I take the receipt every time. The only time I don't take receipts is from from Starbucks, because I buy on my app and I don't know receipt because it's on the app. Hello, Wouter Olafia. Well, then don't tip, Arctic. And go back and beat the living crap out of the thief that stole your money. Just some friendly advice. Okay, guys, the tariffs don't affect what you buy in South Africa. It has nothing to do with that. Imagine getting a call from the bank at 9 p.m. asking you for an increase on your limit. Huh? Well, I'm sure it was for dinner, yeah. To go out in a minute and let sheep out. Right, Leslie? Africa isn't for sissies, yep. What's new in the zoo? There you go. I wrote $20 with no dot. They added a zero. Lesson learned, Arctic. Put the dot. Always put the dot, man. A lot of the sheets are pre-printed, so they've got that there. So just be careful. I'm sorry that happened to you. No wonder you're broke. No wonder you don't have any money, man. You're paying these waiters $200 tips. Limit was already maxed out. Friend went to shopping center, was talking his phone when he realized a bit later he was in a shop without his phone and wallet. What? I have no idea what you're saying, Kathy. That's crazy. Keeping the sheep in the bathroom. Who is Donald Trump being nowadays? Credit card was hacked. Kind of can't do that while on duty in a company paid hotel. Did have a hotel removed from the approved list. There you go. Good move. Yep. Was it a company card? Then you didn't have to pay for it? The company did? Something weird I've noticed on chats. My YouTube profile name appears on your chat. My handle appears on Ronaldo's chat. No, that's YouTube. That's another screw up. They've been having this for a couple months. It's off and on. It also happened on both our channels in a couple days where you had like numbers after it or something like that. $35 burger. Good God. Where do you eat at, man? I finally made it to the chat. What's going on, Shawnee? You're off in here. What do you mean you finally made it to the chat? Did you start late? More fraud on Diners Club card than any other card. Yeah, I don't. The people still have a Diners Club card. Tell me about your grandfather's credit card. You're talking about, well, card skimmers. Yeah, well, there are ways to defeat that too. Usually happens to me straight for bronchitis, but I haven't been ill for 3 years. Cousin had COPD. That sucks. New thing in South Africa, they spray something in your face that drugs you and steals everything. Huh? Oh, okay, Shawnee. Maybe you did and I didn't notice. Apologies for not noticing. We just did an email scam song. Or not email scam, email flood, email avalanche. That was pretty good. Charles Boyson, welcome to you. No person card. Company only pays for food when we work more than 12 hours. Gotcha. Hetien McCarthy, welcome to you. Yep. Yep. So... Oh, boy. Is why my bank is kept with just 30 grand. Yeah. Yeah, if there's nothing in the bank, they can't steal it. But you can only bury so many cougar ends in the backyard. I live in Montana, in case you're wondering. My Kruger ends are buried in the backyard in Montana. Alec has said, that's why I keep my dollars in the sofa. Oh, we ought to do a Pala Pala song. I've never done a Pala Pala song. We should do a reggae Pala Pala song. Move towel to pay on all cards. What? Richard Reeves is laughing. We should do that. That's funny. That's funny. Paul, I sent you an email. I know you're listening. Pala Pala song will be awesome. Let's go with that, okay? I'm going to do a Pala Pala song. They'll probably get the pronunciation wrong is the problem, so they'll probably say Pala Pala. That's why I haven't done it before. Oh, tap to pay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of tap to pay, although I'm doing a lot more recently. Hey, Mohammed, what's going on, man? Yeah, see, if I do a Pala Pala song, they're probably going to say Pala Pala, and that's just, you know, it's bad enough when they say they get despair wrong, they say despair. What email could I contact you on regards to? Hey, Paul, there you are. Okay. You didn't have to do a super chat, but thank you. All right, Paul, you're my latest moderator. You must agree to the rules and conditions to be a moderator. I will send those to you now that I've got your email. Okay. Use it wisely. Paul is now the latest moderator on the channel. All right. Some people abuse the moderator position. We had to do an emergency approval of a bunch of moderators when I was in South Africa. I had a bunch of trolls come in, and not a single moderator showed up for that live broadcast in South Africa. And I was dealing with like 15 trolls. So I think that's when Mad Max became a moderator that night, and one of the ladies became a moderator. Yep. Use to as in Pala. That's an idea. Pala. Yeah, okay, that'll work. That might work. That might work. Pala. You missed my first one on how to clear emails. What do you mean how to clear emails? Explain to me that again. All right, let's try to make a Pala Pala song, okay? Let's do that. Okay, so audio lyrics. Okay, use a filter that looks for the word unsubscribe, then delete all of them. Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, except they're not, Paul. No, these are real emails. Very few. I mean, only about 20% of those are what you're talking about. But still, that would limit 20. That would take 40,000 out of the mix. 50,000. No. Most of these are real, from news sites, from accounts, from things. Yeah. I'm involved in a lot of things. Okay, so but good advice. Okay. Okay, let me change this song. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what happens here. They target older ladies in the malls and say it's perfume samples. Oh, okay. Thank you for that one. Okay. Well, people approach me in the mall. I just chase them away. So, okay, folks. Pala Pala Nights. Let's see how it came out. Hope it wasn't a waste of credits.
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. Shira's got a game ranch, stories unfold. Pala Pala, ritzy joint, glimmer and gold. Stay overnight, don't you stray. Couch cushions hide a rainy day. Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey. Antelope roam where the moonlight beams. Luxury whispers in velvet dreams. Sarah laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme. Hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You'll never know till you're caught in the stream. Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day.
This is freaking awesome. This is a keeper, man.
Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away.
This one's awesome. All right, gonna be tough to top that one. Here's version number 2, Pala Pala. So far, the first one's better.
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. Tira's got a game rash, stories unfold. Bala bala, ritzy joint, glimmer and gold. Stay overnight, don't you stray. Couch cushions high.
This one got better. This one got better.
Luxury whispers in velvet dreams. Tira laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme. Hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You never know till you're caught in the stream. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey, hey. Pala pala.
That's good, but the first one's better. Hang on a second. I just need the image. I just need the image here real quick. I think I call that Pala Pala Nights. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that one's good, man. That's a keeper. We're going to have to upload that when I'm done here. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Stripping the couch last week. Okay, absolutely. I've never been a paranoid type person. What's this? What singer's talking about it? Okay. Head bopping. Yep, foot tapping. Take care, Mr. Echo. Praying to knock people out is their modus operandi in Western Cape. Wow, you should have added to the lyrics where the Cape Buffalo eat caviar. Well, there's only so much space. Either I write all the lyrics myself, Jean Spence, or I get 200 characters. And so in 200 characters, I try to come up with a catchy name, like that one, Pala Pala Nights, and give it the main themes and some of the keywords I want to include in there. There's a Pala Pala song? I didn't know that. Could make a song which would depress people behind these prison walls. Life in South Africa. That would not be a happy song. Yeah, number one's better. DJ Silver Eagle on the Tables Radio Afterlife. Yeah, how we doing here, folks? Wow, we've gone for almost 2 hours. It just flies by at night. I didn't even realize we've been on that long. It's crazy. We peaked at 239 and we dropped all the way back to 175, but now it's climbing again. It's back up 211. All right, so probably need to end. Bank is off our cons for couch. Okay. All right, that's two cool songs. Those were really good, guys. So we came out, they came out better than I expected. 295 likes, 298 on my end now. Now mine's working. It wouldn't work forever earlier. So what did we come up with tonight? We came with Email Avalanche and Pala Pala Nights. That was a really good one. We did our Sapphires earlier today. That was pretty good, too. Sydney's Jeans. Footsec Yardbirds. That's what I love. Footsec Yardbirds. That is a good one, man. Futset Yardbirds. Yeah, I like that one. Cool. All right, there you go, folks. And our staffers. All right, time to wrap it up here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Glad to see that Spotify is back on track there. All right, we'll see you later on Wednesday. Busy day. Early news broadcast. Don't forget, we start at 5:30 instead of 6 p.m. South African time, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then it's on to Ronaldo. Then my radio program on a Wednesday night. Busy day on Wednesday. And the clock is ticking. My travel dates are coming up, and still don't have an appointment for my magnetic resonance imaging. Sweet dreams. So that's pretty clever there, Richard. Thank you for that. Welcome to our new moderator. I'll try to remember to send you the one-page rules for moderators, okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. Chills. Cheers. Take care. Be well. 310 likes. Pretty good for the night owls. All right. Bye-bye.